chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina Speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to
Good evening, Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you. From national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Yes, because we're voices of the islands, conversations for the world. And we are the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. It is a pleasure to be back with you here this evening. And today's episode is brought to you in proud partnership with International Lighting. And I am pleased to actually have International Lighting as a sponsor of the Sabrina Speak show. And they are really International Lighting, a Caymanian gem celebrating 39 years of lighting up our lives, literally and figuratively. So whether you're refreshing your home or adding flair to your construction wardrobe, they've got specials all week long on everything from bed and bag sets to Turkish area rugs, indoor, outdoor lighting, bathroom accessories, and even those neon colored polos and t-shirts. So I encourage you to visit Ed's Plaza. Yes, you may recognize this building. That's 194 North Sound Road, and they're open from Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Or you can give them a call, 949-8211 or 949-5141. We want to thank them for their kind sponsorship. And yes, it is a happy Tuesday. How is everyone doing? I hope you've had a good day. And again, let's say what it is for Tuesday. I'm always about inspiring because today's topic, as you know, we are going to be getting an update on the gray area. We're going to hear more about the post-launch reflections, get a personal update from Oscar and his wife, Melissa, and definitely community activation. So I'm hoping your Tuesday is going great. Trust the journey for T. U, unfold your strength. E, embrace today with hope. Stay grounded in gratitude. Do everything with intention and accept what you can't control. Your faith will lead the way. And those represent each letter for Tuesday. And I hope that this uplifts somebody today. Yes. But I'm happy to be back with you. Lots of going on. Lots are definitely going on here. And hi, Shaq. Happy Tuesday to you. Good to see you as always. And just to bring you up to speed, there was an MVA on Fountain Road in West Bay involving a motor vehicle, a motor car, and a motorcycle. What information has is that police are still on the scene and looking at that. And just before coming live as well, I noticed and I'm going to share this information here for all of you, that Ford has a recall. Yes, Ford has a recall, and it is involving that's 1.4 million vehicles. And that recall is over a rear view camera display, either blank or distorted. So I'm going to share what makes and models here are impacted by this, because we're keeping it real here. And these are American-made vehicles. So you're going to see the makes and models here that are impacted. But I thought that that was important for me to share here with all of you. What was found is that the part was found in a slew of Ford. This includes from Lincoln to Expeditions to Lincoln Navigators, and you can see the years right there for you. So feel free to double check the make and model of your car, and especially if these vehicles and vans, Mustangs, due to issue with the rear view cameras. And, they're making sure that you can get these done. And the issue is with the rear view cameras installed in some Ford and Lincoln vehicles can result in a blank or distorted or inverted image as drivers reverse. And because of that, the recall will impact 1.4 million vehicles in the United States. But because we import a lot of these vehicles as well, either you're doing it by yourself, you need to know. So make sure that you look. And apparently Ford said that it is aware of 18 accidents related to this camera issue, but none have resulted in injuries. Nevertheless, I have shared with you what models are impacted by this Ford recall. You may think it may not impact you, but we're definitely going to make sure that we keep you engaged here. So yes, that's what we're all about. And like I said, today's episode of Sabrina Speaks is more than just an update. It's a continuation of a story that began with lots of courage and a call for collective action. And I am pleased to have back with me today to give you the update, revisiting the Gray Area, a nonprofit organization, as you know, were founded by Oscar DaCosta and his wife, Melissa. And we will remember the powerful appearance that Oscar had here on this very same show, pretty much days after they incorporated their NPO, where he shared his diagnosis of brain cancer and the vision behind and the purpose behind his movement or their movement. But the Gray Area, they advocate for individuals living with cancer. And he was diagnosed with having a brain cancer. He suffers seizures and all that sort of stuff and other neurological conditions. So the Gray Area are advocates for all of those and, offering not just support, but also dignity, having the informative dialogue and give people hope. So this Saturday, I shared a little photo with you. This Saturday gone, September 6th, they had their official launch, and today we'll reflect on that milestone and hear how Oscar himself is doing, and we'll explore what that means to our community moving forward. So I am going to make sure that I invite my guests in here. 1 second. Let me get my people here. Yeah. But I want to thank everyone for keeping it locked and thank you for all of the feedback that I'm getting based on the topics that we're presenting here, and continue to keep it real with you at all times. And we appreciate all of the support that you give us. So without further ado, let me welcome in studio with me. Good evening, Oscar and Melissa. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi. How are you all doing? Recovering from Saturday night, I'm assuming? Melissa, I think you're muted, or just speak for me. Let me make sure I'm hearing you. No, I'm not hearing you.
Am I there?
Now you're here. Yep.
Perfect.
Okay. Oscar, can you speak for me?
Hello.
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Welcome again. It is a pleasure to have you join us so that we can get an update on all that's been going on. And I want to, take this opportunity to let people know that the content that they're about to hear, including all discussions and opinions from myself and a guest, is solely for general information and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for professional, legal, medical, or financial advice. And I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for your specific concerns. Sabrina Speaks disclaims all liability for any discussions or actions taken in reliance on the information here. But without further ado, let's get in. We need to hear an update. Let's talk about what's been going on with you, Oscar.
Sabrina, I'm so happy that we launched the party our NPO is officially launched now. Cannot wait to start giving back to this island
Yes.
for
What?
everybody with neurological issues. Everyone,
Mhm.
Caymanians and residents alike.
Right. Right. Now, since your last visit here, you mentioned this launch on Saturday night. How are you feeling now that it's real and it's now public? How are you feeling?
Actually, very enthusiastic about it
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
very, very happy. We're
Mhm.
now going to be able to make a difference.
Good. Good. Now, looking back at the launch event, what stood out to you most?
The fact that so many people, we sold out,
Mm-hmm.
and if the venue was bigger, we probably would have been able to sell even more.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that so many people were encouraged by us, thank you from the last show,
Mm-hmm. You're more than welcome.
realize how important this is for the Cayman Islands,
Mm-hmm.
wanted to give back,
Right.
or to help us in order to give back, probably is what I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the emotions on Saturday were almost overwhelming to me. I mean, the community, the support, the stories that people had been, sort of keeping underneath their skin and walking up to me and saying, my daughter has had seizures her entire life, and
Mm-hmm.
we've struggled to be recognized, and we struggled to have her being recognized at school, and everyone was scared of her. And just the fact that you're bringing this to light was just such fuel for the fire for the board. I woke up on Sunday morning and I pulled up my laptop and was immediately working, and Oscar just yelled at me for it. But it's just so inspiring to be able to, actually start to put into place what we've been talking we want to do.
Mm-hmm. Any moments that felt especially affirming, or I know when Oscar spoke, everyone was it was like a magnet. It was just like a different feeling in the room. But any other moments that felt especially affirming?
But when I saw you,
And that was strategic. I deliberately did that. I came in and I went to the back. I said, "This is Oscar's moment," and it was amazing how much people recognized me and remembered the show. And thanks. And they were looking forward to. They were just happy to be there. But yeah, that was a moment, and I'm just so happy that from inception that this platform, and definitely Sabrina Speaks, were able to do our part in helping you propel. Just to where it's going to continue. And from the bottom of my heart, Oscar and Melissa, I'm just so happy that this space is here, and that we were able to make an impact. And we're here for you. I gave you my word from day one, and that's what we will do.
thank you.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you.
Now,
Mhm.
what has the response been like from the community overall, let's say stakeholders and the public since the launch?
I'll speak from a personal side. The emails and the messages that have come in, not just from Cayman, but from international. There was someone that wrote on our Instagram that had his wife, he had lost 20 years ago from glioblastoma. And he said, nowhere in the world is there enough recognition or enough support for people that have had to go through that diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that just unto itself was unbelievable. But we've had 3 families reach out with sick kids. We've had, another 5 people reach out that are all looking for support groups and just to be embraced by someone. And that has just been absolutely mind-boggling to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's just it, Sabrina. Support.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
only how this is going to work. We need the support from everybody. And I know that this event would not have been possible without sponsors. Tell us, how did that go?
Really amazing. We managed to raise a really great amount of seed money so that we can start to get our programs running. It has just been overwhelming, again, just how many people in the community have reached out, and whether it's $25 that's been donated or it's been significantly more, it's the community is just really behind us and behind Oscar, and it really shows just how loved he is in this community. And I'm so thrilled that he gets to feel that love as well.
Right. Now, for the listeners who may be new, because this is your second time on the show, and we've heard a lot, but you're still very new in the space and putting the spotlight on this new NPO. Can you briefly remind us the Grey Anatomy's mission, why it matters in today's Caymanian landscape?
So we are a nonprofit organization that is trying to provide support through someone's diagnosis all the way through a serious neurological disease or diagnosis. So we are supporting not only the patients, but the caregivers and the families as well. And we are hoping to support them financially if they do not have health insurance in place, helping with succession planning and wills if people are not able to spend the money to be able to get those things in place so that they can take care of their loved ones moving forwards. Educational programs for movement and education, for nutrition, assisting with a medical advisory board. Quite often when you're dealing with a serious neurological disease or diagnosis, quite often people have to be sent off island, and the challenges of understanding what your options are can sometimes be very overwhelming. So we hope that our medical advisory board is going to be there to be able to help people navigate those decisions that they have to make. Support groups for both patients and caregivers. So caregivers can go into a room and complain about the people that they have to take care of, and the patients can go into a room and complain about the people that are taking care of them, constantly telling them what to do. So, you know, just really giving everyone a comfortable, safe haven to be able to come and know that we're going to support them through any stage of this process.
Now, in regards to just getting that public awareness out, your launch is one thing, but really, what was the drive? I know Oscar spoke highly. You did nothing for the event. You just have brain cancer. But how you actually said that, you know, we all chuckled when you said it, like, I did nothing. I just showed up and I have brain cancer. I mean, tell us exactly. I knew that came from a different place, Oscar, but I don't think people realize how this triggered a wave effect in our community for persons who are having neurological disorders, and we didn't know that they didn't have a voice.
Well, Sabrina, again, I'm repeating from the last show we had. When I was diagnosed and went looking for support, not financially, but guidance.
Yeah.
Let's use that word, guidance. There was no place to turn, or anyone to say, well, try to go to this support group or go to see this therapist. It's hard when you get a diagnosis like I got. It's a punch in the stomach is what I say. And there's one thing with doing your medical treatment, but there's also the mental health and stability afterwards, and just a bunch of people that have an issue, be it cancer, stroke, neurological issues, type of group of people come together and speak about it and just, you know, vent, if you will, is wonderful to be able to do.
Right.
And I want that to be able to happen here for the people that came in and that are going through any neurological issues. Not only to help them find where they need to go to for therapy, et cetera, be it physical therapy, mental therapy, but just someplace to go and say, I hate this. What is going on? Why? We have a safe space for that.
Right.
And that's especially what I needed to do.
Right. How have you been personally, mentally, and emotionally?
Right here with me. It's fantastic. Hence why we also want to be able to help caregivers. Because it is a situation. Case in point, I cannot drive any longer because I'm prone to seizures. So just from a safety perspective, I don't drive. So not only is my wife is my caregiver, but she's also my chauffeur. So that loss of independence as well.
Right, because you're an independent person. You're a go-getter. I mean, you
know that.
You were always, if you're not ripping up a dance floor, you were somewhere in the world.
And that's another great thing. Last time I was waiting to be cleared to fly. Now I'm cleared to fly, so I'm flying all over the world.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit that I got to be honest with you. I held my breath. Like when I know you had to make the trip to Tampa, I held my breath, and then that went off without a hitch. And then you did a longer trip.
London.
What was going through your mind? I mean, you must have this thing of faith that, you know, just breaks everything. You got medical professionals scratching their heads, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I'm just say every day I wake up grateful, thankful, and blessed.
Yeah.
It was nerve-wracking. I had to
I
send
can
him to
imagine
London.
you. Mhm.
Oh my goodness, I had to send him to London on his own so I could be able to make sure that we could have our launch party function. And I mean, difference in time zones for being able to take his anti-seizure medication, making sure that he could wake up in the middle of the night in order to be able to take his appropriate medication. It was a little nerve-wracking to let little birdie fly.
That birdie flew.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the most challenging things as a caregiver, especially when you're living with someone that is as sick as Oscar
Mhm.
is to still allow them to have their autonomy. And as a caregiver, and I'm a doer and I'm a protector, and I want to do everything for him. But that does him no benefit. And it's really challenging as a caregiver to occasionally step back and say, like, you know what, he's going to be okay. And if he
Mhm.
isn't, that is also going to be okay because he still has to continue living his life as an independent human being.
Mhm.
And it's really challenging as a caregiver to try and figure out how to negotiate through where do you give those little leniencies and where do you try and protect them as much as you can.
Mhm. Now, what keeps you grounded, Oscar? What really keeps you grounded and inspired as you lead this initiative forward? Because you're not only battling this cancer, this illness, you're also giving a hand up to those as well. I mean, this is just amazing.
Family values, Sabrina.
Hmm.
My father, my brother, who are no longer with us, they
Hmm.
always gave back to community.
Hmm. Yep.
And yeah, that's what I want to do because it's needed. It's a space where we need help.
Hmm. Hmm. And
And
we're
that's
here for you.
grounded. I am just a normal person who I say is blessed with this in order to be able to find this area in order to give back.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what keeps me grounded, honestly. And of course, my lovely wife.
Right.
I call her Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. On Saturday night, you spoke about this platform being able to share information in regards to persons who have seizures, and I thought that was something. You gave an example of certain public spaces that you go, and you would know exactly where to find an AED machine should someone actually have a heart attack. We pretty much everyone knew what they would do if they saw somebody choking, a Heimlich maneuver. And then it was amazing when you did the test, how many in the room, with the exception of the medical professionals that were there, would know what to do if someone was having a seizure. Walk us through that, because this was something that you also discovered since launching this and since Oscar has been diagnosed and going through seizures himself.
Mhm. So, what we really hope to do is to bring a program on island that will train and certify people in order to be able to respond to seizures appropriately. So, same as you would go through a first aid course, you can take this course so that you know exactly what you have to do in order to be able to keep someone safe.
Mhm.
So, a lot of people think that you're supposed to hold the head in place, and that is not actually something that you should do. A lot of people think you're supposed to put your fingers in their mouth so that you can withhold them from swallowing their tongue, and that is definitely not something that you should do.
Mhm.
So, especially, you know, a lot of children suffer from seizures, and sometimes it's just that they get a fever and it causes a seizure. Sometimes those seizures last into their adulthood. But having watched Oscar go through 2 rounds of seizures, I can tell you it is the most petrifying thing that you can possibly watch someone go through. They are not communicating, they're shaking everywhere. You know, Oscar was choking on a piece of hot dog, and it's
Bratwurst
just
on hot dog.
it's the worst feeling to go through, but at least I knew what I had to do and I knew what I could keep them safe. And
Mhm.
so we really want to create this little program so that within schools, within hospitals, within, you know, any sort of workplace, that if someone has a seizure, at least someone in the room is going to know how to respond correctly to it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sorry, I was
Now,
trying to get the other piece of brain to make it whole.
do it again. Let's see. What I love about you, Oscar, I'm going to be honest with you. You've not lost your sense of humor.
I
And
can't, Sabrina. I cannot. This is what it's through.
uh-huh.
And let me
And
tell you, the wife and I, we banter off each other all the time. We laugh. We laugh.
right.
Positively light and the grace of God
Mm-hmm.
is why I'm here still.
Yeah. And
Like I
it's
said to
just,
you last show that they gave me, what, 6 months, and now it's almost 1 year. I
mm-hmm.
am blessed. I am
Yeah.
blessed.
It just proves that I think there's a study out that says people's once they receive a diagnosis and their prognosis, that they do actually better when they come from a surrounding that there's full of love and support versus those who are going through an illness that finds themselves alone. And I mean, if there's any truth to
That,
that,
glad
Oscar,
you pointed
you're a
that.
living witness of that.
I'm so glad you pointed that out, Sabrina, because that's another thing our NPO wants to do. We want to hold your hand, especially if you're alone, because let me tell you, the process of medication you have to take alone is daunting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And especially if you're by yourself and
Correct.
you're going through the process and can't figure out exact dosages, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
It's a job in and of itself. Hence why we
Right.
want to take care of caregivers as well.
Correct.
So
Everyone is included in this.
here to
Yeah.
hold your hand to get you through the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another thing I wanted to point out was Melissa and I were talking someplace public. I can't remember where it was, in a restaurant or something like that. And someone said, "Sorry, I overheard. You know, what is it you all are doing?" So we explained to them what we were doing. And he was a parent who said, "Please educate. Please also do talks with educating everybody, because I was in the airport in Miami taking
Mm-hmm.
my child for their birthday, and he just ended up having a seizure, and I did not know what to do."
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Because you have seizures yourself.
Yes. Well, I haven't had any in a long time. Let's knock wood. I don't have.
No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But to
Yeah.
see that happened right before your eyes and you didn't know, so that just opened up this whole, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like I said, the person going through the seizure, we're usually okay because we have no idea what's going on. It's the person watching it.
Mm-hmm. Your surroundings.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Uh,
happened to be at a meeting one night, and the person serving us came up to ask us what we wanted, and then they just shaked and dropped and went into a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
That triggered me so emotionally. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what my wife had to see.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's traumatic. It's
Mm-hmm.
definitely traumatic for the person watching it. Again, the person having the seizure, they don't know.
um, And seizures are so much more prevalent than we realize. It's unbelievable when you actually talk. It's almost like everyone's dirty secret. Like, oh, I've had seizures, or I'm on medication for seizures, and it's really people don't like to talk about what they deal with in their day-to-day lives, and
Mm-hmm.
and it is a dirty secret. And we're really hoping that we bring this to light a little bit more, so that people will feel like that it doesn't matter where they are, they can be safe because people understand what's going to be happening.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know it is what it is, and all attention is on the patient, Oscar. But as a partner, as a friend, as a founder, Melissa, how are you?
I'm one of those people that when I'm really against the ropes, I just keep on pushing, and I keep on trying to distract myself into doing something that's going to just be something that I can control when I'm in an uncontrollable situation. And we've had a rough month with Oscar and trying to fight for another round or two of chemo with insurance, because insurance didn't want to give him any more. And the reality from a
What do you
personal
mean?
stand,
What do you mean insurance didn't want to give them anymore?
Yeah, so Oscar, because he went through the initial standard treatment of the surgery, the chemo and radiation, and then the chemo alone for 6 months, was not able to get into remission. His tumors have been slowed down in terms of their progression, but they did not actually go away. So, according to assurance, they have wiped their hands clean and they have done everything that they are required to do in order to be able to treat Oscar according to his insurance policy.
What?
But
Correct.
because,
Basically, sorry to interrupt, my love.
No, no,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. We need to talk. This space is a safe space, and I need you to talk.
So,
Mhm.
because I was stage 4 glioblastoma, which basically means it's there and nothing has changed, I did the typical protocol, so that's it.
Mhm.
If I was stage 3,
Mm.
it continued for a much longer time. I think another year, in fact.
Mhm.
So it's almost like they're throwing in the towel at you
Correct, because I got stage
because
4.
you're a stage 4.
You're dying.
The algorithm and the math doesn't work for the insurance companies. So we've spent the last month fighting with the insurance companies, and Oscar is obviously very cognizant and very functional and still very physically strong. And it was explained to us that another round or two of chemo is not necessarily going to expand his lifespan, but it will improve his quality of life. And we all came to the consensus between his oncologist, neurologist, and Oscar and I that the risks are considerably higher by pushing through chemo for longer rounds because he has had some fairly strong reactions to it. He is allergic to the chemo that he's taking.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm.
if it means that we get another month or two of really high quality of life, that, in our opinion, is worth the risks that we would take by doing more chemo. So it was granted. He gets another round on Wednesday, and we'll see how he gets through that.
So you're literally doing this step by step based on your ratings, and someone administratively, despite you paying all your premiums for years, you get diagnosed and they've pretty much said because you're stage 4, you're on your own.
So
Pretty much.
he had a 2 million rider on his policy, and we haven't even gotten anywhere near 1 million. But the math doesn't work for the insurance company. So, we have some phenomenal doctors that really put in a really strong case, and we're very, very thankful that the decision went in our way. And if there's serious ramifications of the chemo, then we'll deal with that. So, that's what we'll do. But at least we know that we have a chance of slowing the progression of these tumors for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Well, my argument was it's maintaining me and my quality of life is wonderful.
Right.
I do my labs every week or every other week, whatever it is when I'm on the chemo, and my organs are fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I just got brain cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stopping me to maintain.
So we need to really look at legislative reform. And I guess if you had the insurance companies themselves on here, that they would actually have a different narrative. And we had we had another episode here before you, and she was trying to break it down how insurance works. I think after this, we need to bring her back to just dissect that again, because it was a lot to understand. But when you look at dignity and when you look at you're paying all of these premiums, and that was one of the conversations that came up. Just when you need them, they're no longer there. And now you're left fighting for a chance because you never know when could be the breakthrough. One medication, doesn't matter what stage you're at, it's hope.
Correct.
Where there's life, there's hope. And for what you're describing to me, you're not given that because of your rating.
Yes.
So your only other recourse is possibly looking for cynical for supplementary insurance, or doing awareness like this and coming together in one voice to cry for possible legislative change. But that's so delicate. You shouldn't have to be even dealing with this because you're trying to get better, to prolong your life. And now you're fighting this.
We had a meeting with a neurologist today, and at the end of the meeting, he turned to us and he said, one of the things that I really hope you guys are going to be able to do is to come with me and fight with these insurance companies so that we can start giving these patients some dignity. because
Yes.
he sees situations where people are in basic health insurance and have the worst of the diagnoses and cannot afford to treat themselves. And that, from a human standpoint, is just so wrong. And so
Yeah.
if the insurance company isn't there, there at least has to be nonprofit organizations and government and legislation in place to ensure that everyone has the dignity to be able to deal with what they're dealing with from a medical standpoint.
Oh, wow. Well, this puts us back to how then can the community get involved? Because I think when you see situations like this in its raw form, we're hearing it from you directly, Oscar, as a patient fighting. We're hearing it from your wife, your caregiver, your friend who is on this journey with you. And there is a public call for action. How does the community get involved? What are you looking for? What are you expecting to get from this? Because it's one thing putting a definition, putting the label, yes, this is what Oscar went through. It's a person that we know, and you're going through this. Can you imagine the voices that you're actually speaking for?
Indeed. Sabrina, something as simple as why is it that if an individual can afford a policy, a premium policy, that an insurance company will not give them that because they don't work for a company? What sense does that make?
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mhm.
can afford to pay for that policy and the type of insurance you want,
Mm-hmm.
why can you not get it as an individual? Why do you have to be involved in a company? Is
So
number one question.
I want to make sure I understand. This did not boil down to you not being able to afford your premiums. They
No,
just actually said, we don't want any more. We're not going to cover you no more.
Mhm.
this was before I was even diagnosed, when I was just trying to get insurance on this island, and I wanted a certain coverage. And because I was an individual, not with a company any longer,
Right.
Mhm.
um, they wouldn't do it. So I have international insurance,
Mm-hmm.
who's been fantastic. But even after I met the protocol, my doctors had to go and say, listen, he deserves it. This is this, and this. And
Mm-hmm.
they said, okay. But I'm talking about the local insurance providers here. Why is it that if you're not working with a company, you can't get a premier coverage, for example?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. For me, I have my own health challenges, and I've been full-time caregiver to Oscar for the last 10 months, and I have to have health insurance as well. There was one company that could give me premier coverage, and I went to absolutely every single company. And if I don't have premier coverage and I end up in the hospital, we're in a much deeper pickle than we are right now. So there is definitely some things that need to change in that regard.
But I
Um,
think the biggest takeaway from this, not meaning to cut you, Melissa, is the fact that you're not questioning, at least at this time, the premium. You're just
mhm.
trying to get coverage.
Just trying to get coverage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But going back to your question, Sabrina, so we're just about to open up our memberships, and there have been people biting at our ankles to try and become members. So that's
Yeah.
one of the ways to be able to get enveloped within our organization. And if you're looking for support, that you can then access the programs that we're about to be started. But really, from a community standpoint, I mean, obviously, we need money in order to be able to help people. But from a community standpoint, we really want people to start talking to one
Mm-hmm.
another, to really start recognizing the people that might need just a little bit of extra assistance or a little bit of extra support. We want to have
Mm-hmm.
people feeling comfortable to be able to say, hey, I have brain cancer, and it's okay that I have brain cancer. And there's a lesson to be learned from this.
Right.
We really, I always say it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to get someone through a really serious health diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to create the community within the gray area, but we also want to really make sure that we have that general community, not just with the other NPOs on island,
Right.
but everyone there to support the people that are going through some really bad days.
Mm-hmm. We have a caller. Good evening, caller. You're live.
Good evening, Miss Sabrina. Good evening, Oscar. It's Shiv. Forgive me, I'm very nasal. I'm sick myself.
Oh, wow.
And I tuned in a little bit late. And Oscar, and to your wife, I am so sorry. I don't have the words. And I'm so sorry. I'm really just so sorry. But to continue to hear the insurance debacle in this country, I had to call in. I myself have a son who's sick, who I had a huge issue in 2020 with the health insurance, which still plays on till today. And it's quite sad. No, I mean, the issue that you just brought up there, that unless you're tied to a company, it has nothing to do with your ability to as to whether or not you can afford the insurance premium. You can't get on a premium plan. And let's not talk about the shit plan. It should be called something else, but I won't say that.
Can't say that on TV.
Yeah, I don't try to behave myself a little bit today. But it's quite a shame, and I myself have gone to bat with the Health Insurance Commission, with the insurance companies, to cover simple things as birth control, to increase the benefits for mental health treatment, for wellness treatment. And again, we find ourselves back at the same place. And I'm sure that you're going to say, if you already haven't, again, forgive me, I've tuned in late, that you're going to say, prior to this diagnosis, you lived a very relatively healthy life, and you had zero issues, and you weren't a person that was going to the doctor to check your toenail. And now you're finding yourself in a mess. And unfortunately, the problem is with this whole entire thing, it requires legislative changes that I just don't think anybody is willing to tackle. And it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate because it doesn't get any attention until it affects someone that's sitting in the LA, their family, themselves. And it's unfortunate that we have to get to these points where you're facing terminal diagnoses, or darn near terminal diagnosis to get there. I mean, when is it going to change? I've spoken to so many reinsurances. I kind of sort of work in the background of that business. So I understand how it works. And what I'm saying is, how can a person who has had probably little to no use of their health insurance, or now they need it, they can't get it. Or now that they need you, well, they're going to pick and choose what they're going to cover. First of all, we are on an unhealthy insurance product for the jurisdiction. This 80/20 does not work. I'm currently pretty ill myself. I mean, I spoke to the pharmacist about an out-of-pocket on a medication. My out-of-pocket is $376. I take that medication every week, once a week. That's $1,200. My insurance premium is $1,800. I may as well not have insurance. And I mean, again, and I hear you, and I'm so grateful that, you guys have formed this group, but at the end of the day, I think the changes, like Sabrina said, have to be legislative. I think I'm sick and tired of everybody getting up every year campaigning on what they're going to do about insurance and nothing happening. And like your wife said, the doctor said, like, we need y'all to fight with us to fight the insurance. I am here. I am willing. I am able. And I will be in contact with you and your wife as soon as I can to do whatever I can to make whatever changes that we can push forward, because it is absolutely atrocious. It is absolutely ridiculous that they're allowed to come in here, charge the premiums that they do, and treat you the way they do when they want to, with no absolute recourse. You can't go to the commission because you're bound by legislation that, to me, is so inadequate, or simply doesn't even address what the insurances are doing. And there's no recourse. There's no recourse for it. And you kind of left with your hands tied, like insurance is supposed to be assurance, but it's not. And the 80/20 that we're currently on simply does not suffice. In 2020, my out-of-pocket was $86,000.
Oh, wow.
That was my out-of-pocket, right? And you kind of like, what? But you had insurance, and I had premium. Okay? And then, God forbid, if you happen to get a new job, you get told by the other insurance company that, well, actually, that's a pre-existing, and we're going to cap the treatment. Yeah, we're going to cap treatment for that particular disease, disorder, whatever it may be, and we're going to limit the amount of what we're going to cover. Then why the hell do I have the insurance?
Yeah.
Then why the hell do I have it? It sickens me. It sickens me to know that these things are still happening year on in and nothing is being done. And every 4 years, somebody gets up there and promises all of these massive changes to insurance and nothing gets done. I am here. I am willing. I am able. I will be in touch with you guys to do whatever we need to do to get some changes there. But I'll leave you guys there.
Oh,
I
caller.
wish you all the
Thank
best.
you. I wish you all the best and a speedy recovery as well. I
Yeah.
missed you. I
Thank
was
you.
wondering what happened. You were quiet.
I'm sick. I'm sick.
Well, speedy recovery to you, my love. And I
Thank
think
you.
we're going to definitely bring this conversation back up on a national level with insurance, to be very honest with you both and to the caller, because more information needs to be had and more conversation, needs to be had. We talk about consumer protection and all that sort of stuff. These are some of the things that we have to look into, because this is impacting the quality of life here in the Cayman Islands. And we're not coming after one entity in one area or industry. There are other industries that the conversations are being had where people are feeling that there's not enough being done to advocate for their customers, for their clients. And this is where the roundtable discussion needs to be had. But it looks as though there's so much going on as we as a jurisdiction evolve, but then life actually happens and situations like this are real. And it is heartbreaking, Oscar. It is.
Sorry, hamster wheel. That's what we're in.
Yeah.
Not a hamster wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get it done.
While you're fighting here for the best quality of life, you're fighting for your life. Let's be very candid. You're fighting for your life while you're dealing with an administrative and legislative mess up that could have actually
in common with the King of England, His Royal Highness King Charles.
Pardon me, repeat that.
I won't necessarily die of cancer, but I will die with cancer. Just is. I read that article, I think yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
He won't necessarily die of cancer, but he will die with cancer because his is like mine, not curable.
Okay. Yeah.
But guess what? I'm going to be here and I'm going to prove it that I can be cured. And I'm going to make sure we make a difference for this country and everybody else that we can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Again, like Melissa mentioned before, we've even had international outreach.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I think she brought up the gentleman from Florida who lost his wife 20 years ago, being married for 33 years to pretty much what I have, and that nothing has changed, and they had no place to go to for guidance, and they're thanking us and encouraging us to do what we're doing.
So you're already going beyond the 345 shores, and you're having international attention.
They're seeing it on links like yours and thanking us.
Wow.
And saying wonderful. Even people in Canada are saying there's nothing like what we're starting here, and that it's needed. So you know what? Once we get it established, I'm happy to share our setup with them so they can start it in their own countries because it's needed. It is
of course.
needed.
Right. Right. Let's read some of the comments here. Lisa Brightly said, God knows just how to turn Oscar situation around that will blow the insurance out of the water. That's Lisa. And she continues to say, Oscar, your wife is an angel that God has blessed you with. And she further says, hey, Marshall, good evening. Yeah, you got lost the track of work. Lisa also says, as your wife has just said, that she is not well, but she's fully taking care of you. That's the commitment that we made. And, Cara Julian also says, I'm proud of you, Oscar. And Shani Banks, we love you, Oscar. It's Blair. Tried communicating on Facebook, but couldn't. Saturday was wonderful. Oscar, you are an inspiration. And so there you got. And I'm quite sure as we continue here in this space that because people join this podcast at different intervals, you will see other comments as well. But just break down again for the sake of those. I got some pictures here. Can you explain what's here? Just break it down. What are we seeing here? This is some images that were captured on Saturday night, and much more. I'm sure will come on your website. Tell us what we're seeing here.
So that's me with my marrying cousins, my mom, And then a friend of ours, Lena, she's to the furthest left, or it would be, yeah, my left, maybe their right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Shannon, Charlene, Marin.
Yeah.
Their maiden name for Marin.
Right.
That beautiful older lady there is my mama. She's 82
Oh,
years old. Happy birthday, mama. She turned 82 on September 4th.
nice. Happy belated, Miss
Mhm.
Jeannie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I call it Genovila.
Yes, Genovila. Oh my God, you're
She's
going
always
back.
going.
Yeah, no, you are going back to the olden days when you used to come to my grandmother. Remember, Miss Genevieve used to mind you?
Yeah.
Yep. And your brother? Yep. Yep. And here's another picture. Wow.
So that's me and another cancer warrior. I don't know if you were there, Sabrina, when we danced.
Yes, I was there. That's Shadden. Mm-hmm.
That is Shadden.
Yeah,
So
Shadden
she has
McLaughlin.
breast cancer and it metastasized some other places. But
Mm-hmm.
we've always been there for each other since we started our battles.
Mm-hmm.
She got diagnosed before I did. And then when I got diagnosed, we just chat. And, we keep each other. Again, a support group. Cancer is cancer. It
Mm-hmm.
sucks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there's someone that knows what you're going through. And it's always a great chat. So that's why I wanted to dance with her. We rise because we rise up.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we will beat this.
Mm-hmm.
I say, we got this. And we
Yes.
have
Right.
it.
Right. And this is another image that I have here that we shared.
All right.
Mhm.
That is Tar Bernardo, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents own Track and they're one of our main sponsors. And she's
Oh,
also a very good friend of mine.
good.
And of
Good.
course, that's my lovely wife, Melissa.
Yep. And there you go. Another one here.
And there's our board. I call
Mhm.
them my champions. And
Mm.
I am so proud of them for getting this together. Like you were there,
Mm-hmm.
Sabrina, when I said, look around this beautiful room and how decorated it is and how great everyone
Yes.
did. I didn't contribute anything to that, but just have brain cancer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have Jane Peck that's in the red dress. Next to her is Abigail Met, who is our legal counsel. Jane is our treasurer. Then there's Oscar, myself, and then Vicky McClanahan, who is our treasurer.
Nice, nice. And this is your board. These are the foundation. These are the pillars. And again, how can people be a part of this? Should other people want to be a part of this?
Yeah,
This,
so we're on almost all the social medias. We need to get our Facebook going next, so that's on my list for tomorrow. But we have Instagram that you can find the Gray Area KY. We also have LinkedIn as well, and we also have our website. That's thegrayarea.ky. So you can go and see our story, our mission, and how to be able to contribute. And then, like I said, we're getting our memberships going within the next couple of days. So people will be able to join for memberships, and we will definitely be in the public sphere announcing all of our programs as they get going.
Correct. Yeah. And as Lisa so rightly says, no one asks for sickness. And this is why compassion needs to be shown to everyone who becomes sick. This is so who falls sick. Yeah, she corrected it. Yeah. But that is so right. That is so profound as well, because you're here. We're all speaking out. We can see the gaps. We see the needs, and you're just at it. Good.
Yeah,
And
trying to
I'm
fill
so
those.
proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You,
So,
Sabrina.
Yeah.
so what message would you share with families right now supporting civic leaders or even community builders in regards to what you're going through? Because we've tackled the legislative, we've looked at ARM, your difficulties, your challenges. You realize where you're all also making an impact internationally. But what message would you share with other families?
I think families need to know that they finally have a safe space to come to, and that there will be a shoulder for them to lean on, and advice to be given, and support to be there, and a hand to be held. And that's my most important message.
All right. We have another caller. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Sabrina Speaks. You're live.
Good evening, Sabrina, and good evening, Mr. Oscar and Melissa. Miss Melissa, I share your opinion because I'm going through the same battle. It's a different place he had cancer, but to me, cancer is cancer. Once you hear that name, to me, it don't care where you have it, it's all the same. But I like how Mr. Oscar think, and you're gonna make it, Mr. Oscar, because you're blessed by the blood of God. Just how faith God can move mountains, and they're telling you about there's no cure, but God can cure you. And I feel that you got faith. I know your mom is a good person, and like I say, don't even mention insurances. Because I kept saying after the other day, insurances are crooks. I don't care whether it's house, health, or car. They are crooks. This another thing. I didn't really want to talk about them because I had so much bad experience with them, with house, with health, with everything. So don't just don't make them get under your skin, because you're gonna be covered, or you covered by the blood of God. Believe me, have faith. I like how you think and whatever, and you're gonna be okay. I'm praying for you, and I know God can move mountains. Thank God they claim that my husband is gone, but then, like they say, it's a chance of it reoccurring in some other spot, which I am almost sure that that's not going to be the case. I won't know now what's going on till when he do another scan in October, but I have faith, and he's going to be okay. And so as you guys, just press on and just trust in God, and you're going to be okay. Believe me.
Thank you.
He can cure you.
Yeah.
I really hope your husband keeps his positive attitude as well, because that gets you through a lot too, man.
He gonna cure you, because I didn't think that they were gonna tell me that my husband was gonna need it, because he had vocal cord. He had it in his throat. But so far they say, because he did radiation and chemo 8 weeks, and like I said, I know the feeling, because I've been there. Me and him been together 50 years, and I stuck by him. I even slept in the hospital. That is
radiation. That mark.
Yeah.
I said, if you see this right here, that's my mark from radiation.
Okay, but thank God he not got no mark. He only got a mark from this old, because they had to put the track in his throat. So he got a mark, and then they had to put the pack in his belly because of the throat he couldn't eat. So they had to feed him to the tube. I'm not even worrying about that, because he come a long way. If you had seen him, I thought he wasn't going to make it either, but I wouldn't give up on faith. I kept praying, and people keep praying, and like I say, God can move mountains, and it's not easy, because like I tell Miss Melissa, I feel her pain because I've been there. I've been through it too. So just don't give up. They said, the saying goes, don't give up till you turn belly up. Well, you guys not going to turn belly up. You're going to make it. Just pray and just keep the faith.
Thank you.
Such kind words. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Yeah. As insurances, there's something else. I didn't know about mention with them. They're not ready. Then people, they're all crooks. Don't care what it is. That is health, life, or car. There's another story. You need to close them down.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Now, Oscar, you've said that you've shown the scar. Turn it again. Let's see.
No, it's not a scar. It's more of a mark.
That's
radiation.
Yeah.
What is that like for someone understanding? I mean, can you describe what that was like, that experience was like for someone who don't know or haven't had anybody to go through it?
Well, it's a laser that's direct. So there's a mold that they make of your face to keep your head and everything still. And then they precisely measure where they need to target. And it's basically a beam that goes in. And you can listen to music sometimes too.
That definitely, I'm sure, kept you going.
Trying not to dance on the table.
Can you imagine? Yeah. How do you do that with someone who enjoys dancing? Sorry. What did you say, Oscar?
I said, not seizures, seizures.
Yeah.
Now, from your perspective, why should Caymanians pay attention to the gray area? Any one of you can answer this.
I just think that cancer here is so prevalent, and there's a lot of people that are having neurological issues. So go look us up online. Strokes are prevalent. Brain tumors are prevalent. Again, like I said, we had 3 families reach out to us because predisposed genetic disorder their child is having, and may go into seizures and want education on that, or people who have seizures period or epilepsy prone to that.
Mm-hmm.
We are here, and it is in the Cayman Islands,
Mm-hmm.
and Caymanians have it, not just residents.
Right. Right.
Mm. Sabrina, I think in the last interview, I talked about how if you want to buy a blue Honda, you drive down the road and all of a sudden all you see are blue Hondas. And I think what's been most startling for us is we felt so isolated when Oscar got diagnosed that we were the only people in the world or in Cayman that were dealing with such a situation. And it's amazing when you start talking to other people, you realize just how small the degrees of separation are and how many
Mm-hmm.
people have been affected by a stroke or their family member having a stroke. And it's just, I think the response has been overwhelming at just how many people have been personally touched by serious neurological disease. And I really hope that, you know, if you've lost a loved one over the last years, that if you want to come and talk to us in a support group, that we are still there for you. It doesn't matter whether it's a recent loss or it's a current situation, or if it's from a long time ago, that there is still support here for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, what was your biggest takeaway as you observed Oscar on Saturday night, Melissa? It's one thing. You were all in it. I know, but I know as females, whenever we're hosting something, we look at it's after the fact that you're like, wow, it's over. And then you're like, but I had a good time. You're not even thinking of that, right? But what did you observe in Oscar during this milestone? Any any shifts in his energy? What was that like?
I mean, I hate to say you give that boy a Belvedere and soda, and he's good until midnight. Doesn't matter if he cancer or not. No, he's new. He was a social butterfly. But one of the things that I kept on saying to our board as we were preparing for this event was, I know all of us on the board have a far reach, but I always underestimate the reach that Oscar has within the Cayman Islands and the number of people that know him and the number of people that love him so dearly. And, you know, when we were looking for a venue, I'm like, 100 people, guys, we're gonna struggle filling that. And I mean, Oscar could have just invited his first tier friends and family, and we would have been busting out of the seams already.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Any of us alone.
yeah. I mean, every day I look at this man and he just provides me inspiration to not only be a better human being for myself, but to be a much better human being for him. And then to also try and spread everything that him and I believe in as human beings to everyone else that we can help as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Moving forward, what is the biggest, what's next? Are there any other fundraising events? What's next?
We've got some rock and roll bingo coming at the Foundry in November. We are going to start working on a golf tournament as well for the new year. We've decided we're not really the gala people. We would rather keep things a little bit smaller and a little more grassroots. So we're hoping to do a couple of kind of smaller events at Morgan's or some of the other kind of, smaller venues, just to be able to fundraise some money. And then we're really hoping to be able to get some education programs running as well. So talking about nutrition and movement and that sort of stuff, and being able to kind of involve the community of all of these allied health professionals that have so much to offer to health,
Right.
on top of what the medical world can deliver.
Correct.
What happens in the cells is, in my belief, 25% of what health is. And the rest of the 75% is about love, community, food, movement, positive mindset, mental health, all of that sort of stuff, I believe has so much more power than what the doctors say, this is what your prognosis is. And so we really want to be able to incorporate that. It's about all of the wellness in order to make someone happy and
And also
healthy.
the power of positivity.
Yes.
Mhm.
When I take my chemotherapy is orally taken, not by the port.
Mm.
So guess which song I put on?
What that is?
You ready for this now? You ready?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Celebrate good time. Instead of come on, I go chemo.
Again, anything to make it work, Oscar. Anything. Anything.
right? You
Yeah.
like that
Exactly.
body to celebrate good times. Emo.
We got another caller, guys. Got another
Oh.
caller. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks.
Hi, good evening, Sabrina. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Hi. I am not. I mean, I totally. No, I'm sorry, guys. I think a few of us signed on late. Just to give us an update, who is Oscar? I'm sorry. I mean, I think a few of us signed on late. So,
Mhm. Oh, okay. Sure, no problem. They can recap the topic this evening. We're putting the spotlight on the gray area. Oscar DaCosta has been diagnosed with brain cancer, and the gray area, which is an NPO, launched did their official launch on Saturday night. So we're not only getting a personal update from the patient himself and his wife, who are founders of this NPO, we're actually giving a recap of everything that happens, what they've learned along the way, and some of the challenges that he's facing with insurance coverage, and how even getting treatments now is almost on a pay-as-you-go basis, because the insurance has said, no, you're stage 4 cancer. We're not gonna give you anymore. And this is why they become advocates now for persons who are going through neurological disorders, because he has seizures with his diagnosis. But I'll allow them to just recap but did you have a question? Or I hope that was able to give you in a quick synopsis of what we've been talking about almost for an hour. But thank you for joining.
No problem. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar and his wife,
Melissa. Mm-hmm.
we got you. We got you. Whatever it takes we can fight for you. Don't worry about it.
Thank
We
you.
can fight for you. It's not fair because you didn't ask for it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
None of us ever
We
asked.
got you, Bob.
Yet.
Yeah.
But it's all about turning that lemon into lemonade, and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, baby. Don't worry. We got you. We can fight for you.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
so sweet. Thank you.
You didn't ask for it, so there we go.
Yeah.
We got you. We got you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Love you. Okay, good night.
Good night.
You
You see what I tell you? People are actually knocking off of work and they join us at various stages. And even though I was able to do that as a synopsis, it's best for you guys to just do it from your perspective, for the sake of those who may just be joining the live now.
You did a pretty darn good job, though, Sabrina.
I was called by some of my colleagues a recorder. My former colleagues, they were like, oh God, she actually did that verbatimly. I guess it's years of taking interviews when I used to work in enforcement. But yeah, for the sake of those, again, just please, the gray area, which sometimes may actually, what is the gray area? I mean, we're going to be hearing a lot more about this. And I'm just so happy, like I said, that platforms such as this can actually help propel you, be the foundation for getting this message out. But how do you connect the gray area into exactly what you're doing without seeing Oscar's face?
Good question.
I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, but you get where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think just the message to get across is that our umbrella is extremely broad. So when we came up with the idea of starting this organization, it was because of brain cancer, and we had a couple of friends that were going through similar situations, and we're like, we need to be able to help brain cancer. And then we talked to a friend that had a stroke 5 years ago, and he was complaining about how there was no support for him. And so we were like, okay, well, maybe we'll just add stroke underneath our umbrella as well. And it really, the thing is with a neurological disease, one of the callers said, cancer is cancer. But when it comes to the brain, there's another level of challenge that comes with someone that's having an issue with their brains as well. So their processing speeds are significantly different. Their ability to answer questions and figure out technical things might be considerably challenged. Their personalities will change, and sometimes not for the best. So there is an additional layer of complexity when you're dealing with neurological diseases, and that's really where, you know, we want to make sure that everyone feels supported and included within our umbrella, because, you know, when it does come to the brain, the perception publicly for people that have had their brains altered, and how people perceive them can sometimes really affect them as well. And so it's just important that, you know, that they can get together and they have someone else that understands what it's like to have someone go in and remove a part of your brain, or to have a part of your brain die and have a part of yourself die when that goes away as well, because you do lose a part of who they are when that gets taken.
Oscar, have you recognized any, since that has been removed, any significant changes that you can identify yourself that is the old Oscar versus the now Oscar?
Sabrina, I got fuller.
No, man, don't call yourself that. No.
It's true.
Again, I keep
You're
it
not gonna
light.
make you self-proclaim yourself as a fool. No, no.
Again, I keep it light. I keep it light. No, honestly, supposedly I can't lift anything really heavy, and I must tell you the truth. When I try to pick up like a heavy suitcase or something, I can feel the pressure.
Oh, really?
Hence why you're not supposed to lift anything heavy. And of course, my Wonder Woman over there is like, "What are you doing? Let me do it." And I'm like, "But I'm a dude. I'm supposed to take care of you."
Yeah.
So again, going back to independence.
Yeah. Wow.
Autonomy.
But you can feel when you lift something too heavy, you can feel the pressure.
But cognitively, you're good. I mean, memory.
Like they give you the good and bad scenarios with everything. So when I got my piece removed, potentially would have had short-term memory loss, maybe some long-term, and also maybe some vision issues. Well, you know, I was always blind. That's why I had to get these 4 eyes done from when I was like, what, 5 years old?
I joined a club. I was told, you look like you're looking through your nose on your podcast. I just couldn't see because my prescription changed.
But again, thank the good Lord. When I woke up from that procedure, I was telling him, take this out of my throat, the ventilator. And I literally sat up in my bed and I'm like, that's my wife. That's my mother. My name is Oscar DaCosta. I just had a tumor removed. I told them everything to show that I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah.
To make sure I was okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's quite scary. Again, I don't know if I covered this before in the last show, Sabrina, but when I was diagnosed, I had to leave the room to go to the bathroom. Because literally, as they would say, your pants. When you get a diagnosis like that, and I hadn't even had surgery yet.
Oh, wow.
It was a scan saying, oh, well, the swelling on your brain shows that you have a malignant cancer, and either stage 3 or stage 4. And I'm like, what? You haven't even operated yet, and you're telling me I have cancer that's stage 3 or stage 4? What?
And it was just as raw as that. Just like, just get it out.
Because again, I prefer it that way. There's no sugarcoating. Tell me what you need to know.
Yeah.
And I will deal with it, or we will deal with it. But again, it's like a punch in the stomach.
Yeah, because reality, it gets real.
And there's no place to go to, because from that time on, had there been somebody, I would have gone to them and said, hey, what should I deal with this? You just give me breathing exercise. It's something to do. And process it.
Yeah.
Process it. However you want to call that word, or announce that word. Process.
We got Michelma that called back. Good evening, Michelma. You are back live.
But Mr. Oscar, let me explain this. I understand what you're always saying about the brains, and I know that your brains is a delicate part of your body. But you don't looking at you look healthy, and then you functioning, although you had the brain tumor. Because listen, let me just say this. My husband had seizures years ago too, or actually one seizure. He fell down by the way the market is now. You remember when they had the old farmer market? You probably know him as Billy Ray Martinez. You know him. You know him,
okay.
Mr. Oscar, that deputy fire chief.
Yeah.
You know him? Well, that's who my husband is. But right now, okay, he had that seizure, right? And they say that that long before he been diagnosed with this cancer, because he only diagnosed last year with the cancer. But right now, he don't function. He had that seizure, and they say that because we were in Jackson Memorial, that's 6 months with him, and they say that he has a brain damage. And the doctors explained to me that he is like a 2-year-old child, because his brain that's why I have to beat on him, because his brain that's supposed to be active to tell him, to do stuff is what damage on him. And if you come and look at him and look at you, well, I don't think, I'm almost sure you're not old as him neither. But looking at him and looking at you, you don't look like not like I say, not saying that you fool, because you're swinging more than you all five, because you can remember things, you can relate things, you look happy, you look healthy, you look good. So that's what I'm telling you, use God bless, and you can get through this. So don't listen to what they say, because they probably saying that they can't cure you, but like I tell you, God can cure you. And looking at him and looking at you. So just listening to you talk alone, you don't look. But apart from the scar, you say, well, I guess some people skin scars and some don't. But you look good, and you talking with good sense, which my husband don't talk stupidness. But he can't remember. He retired from fire station. They retired him on the medical in December 2002. He can't remember none of that. And yet people that he know, if you come to him, if he haven't seen you a long time, and he look at you, he say, well, I'll tell him, don't tell him. And he look at you, and if he can't probably remember your name, but he remember some family member that you family to. But comparing you to him, because like I say, he had the seizure and his brain is damaged. They say you had the cancer, and you got, I guess, brain damage, but you look good. You are remarkably good. So to me, you're 100%. So this is the difference with you and him. And like I tell you, just have faith, and you're going to come through this. You're going to come through this, because looking at you, don't look like you had nothing at all. If I would tell people, I wouldn't have think that nothing was wrong with you.
Yeah, I've been told that.
You look the same.
Yes, you look good. And then see how he can joke. I don't know what this little thing he put nothing and stuff like that. And the rhythm how to talk, see how to joke, see if you can how to get him to smile or nothing anymore. So Mr. Oscar is good. Doing good. And he can come through it, like I say, how faith, and you're blessed by the blood of God.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Sound words, and definitely the support is there. And are you through, caller? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Because
go ahead.
Looking at it, and like I guess Miss Melissa can, because I texted my husband sometime, and if I say to him, because that's what the doctor tells me to repeat myself, because he can send me off, is he don't comprehend, because they told me that if it's a broom and a mop in the corner, and I said to him, Bill Rick will bring me the broom, and I'm saying broom, broom, broom. He gonna come with the mop. He might get 3 tries, but he gonna bring the wrong thing. This is how you can tell him, not like, because if he coming from the room, and I say, pull my phone out, if I got it charging in the chair, and I say, don't pull the plug out from the wall, just pull the plug out from the phone and bring me the phone, and when he comes with the cord too. I just tell him that, so he not comprehending.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, caller. Always appreciate feedback.
Problem on 5, maybe 10.
Yeah.
But he looks good, and he talking with,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah. Again, Michelle Munn, her personality, and the mere fact that she's going through this with her husband. I mean, people see it from different perspective, but like how you say, you get fooler. But no, that was just for a lighter moment. I kind of see the perspective that she's come from, the perception where she's coming from, to be honest. But that is why I asked that question before, because you actually have a portion of your brain that's removed. If that was identified by yourself or even Melissa, having known you, being around you in your space, sometimes that can actually change a person's personality. But Again, it all depends on what part of the brain that was affected that could actually deal with your emotions, your feelings, your memory, your taste, your smell. From what I'm getting from you, none of that has been impacted.
Well, I do believe maybe it's the drugs I'm on because I take a lot of pills. I
Right.
used to love broccoli. Oh, Sabrina, I'd tear up broccoli. It's nobody's business.
Uh-huh.
Now to even look at it, I'm like, ooh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's the side effects of the chemo for sure. Trying to get Oscar to fill out a form, especially if it's on a computer, is extremely challenging.
Okay.
So all form filling goes to me now. Considering, so there's a term within the neurology world that's neuroplasticity. So even when I was learning anatomy 20 plus years ago, the belief was that the brain and the neurons were formed at birth and they do not change from there. And science and research over the last 15 to 20 years has proven that brains and neurological systems are actually extremely malleable. And if you remove a piece of it, that you can actually train the brain to redevelop those pathways to those essential areas that are involved with, cognition or taste or movement, that you can create some neuroplasticity in there, and that the brains are actually very malleable. So, through a lot of hard work and me just constantly pushing Oscar to try and push a little bit more and a little bit more,
Yeah.
I think we've actually managed to regain some skills that were a challenge for him when he was first out of the surgery.
Oh, nice. Well, you eat for your brain now, Oscar, do you? Have you changed? Has your diet modified, or you just eat whatever you desire?
I eat whatever I desire. There's only one life to live. YOLO! But I do try to eat healthily or healthier. Like I said, I'd tear up and plate of broccoli once upon a time, but instead of broccoli now I'll do like cauliflower. Well, no cauliflower, sorry. Carrots, zucchini. That's become my new broccoli. And lean chicken. Oh, and Caribbean chicken and rice. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it
Like
on.
that little rice and bean, that little pink potato salad too.
Yeah.
No, again, we have gone through this. We've explored this. We've learned the official launch of the gray area has already happened. You have shared with us what are the next upcoming events, which is taking place in November. It's a bingo event. And again, for the sake of those who may just be joining us, Melissa and or Oscar, please, for the sake of our listening audience, you can do this. Let us know what's next, what's upcoming, and the floor is yours.
Melissa.
So support groups, the ability to join us as a membership so that you can either access our programs or just be able to support us financially. A golf tournament coming up next year, a couple little smaller swanky events in some restaurants to be able to fundraise some money. Some educational programs coming to the public sphere. That's where we're starting, and then we're going to see where the energy takes us.
Okay. All right. And Oscar,
Yes,
tell us what you want to leave with us today. And I'll give Melissa a chance as well if she wants to just do a final wrap up.
I just want to say a big thank you to the community. And I want you all to know we're going to make a difference in this sphere. And it'll probably be with your help as well.
My pleasure. I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I want to just echo the same thing. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for you being so welcoming to us and the hugs and kisses on Saturday night. And just look out for us because we're about to be in your faces.
Yeah, so we're just recapping some of these images. There are lots more as well. And I'm quite sure you will have these also posted on your website.
Yep,
as
website and Instagram for sure. Yeah, we've got quite an active little Instagram account going, so hopefully we can get some followers there, and they'll be able to learn some tidbits along the way. How to recognize strokes, how to recognize symptoms that might be slightly
Look at that
similar.
one. That's a cute one.
Yeah.
Shouting at me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Shadden and all of these nice little that she puts up here with her little pictures.
What do they call filters again or something?
Filters,
Filters,
yeah.
yeah.
You can hear me now. You can hear me. But it was so good to see your mom, Oscar, to be honest. And it was just, it's a family event. And again, that speaks volumes to why you're actually navigating this. And we can only continue to be here as a support. Cayman as a whole, and as you be advocates for people with neurological disorders. And again, for those who know the Cayman Islands as a jurisdiction, we are trailblazers in so many things. And I think because it appears people like yourselves make it look so easy in getting something like this off the ground, that you got people from across the world are like saying, we don't have that here. And here you guys are just breaking the ceilings. You are making it happen. You are defying almost everything that medical professionals are saying, and you continue to do well. We can just keep positive, I feel, is the key. And like I said, I'm here to assist where I can, and just making sure that we use the space to share the information, to follow you on your journey, and to continue to keep the gray area alive. And it's going to be around for a long, 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 long time, just like you. We're going to call it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I really regret about the launch is, Sabrina, you and I didn't get to dance. What do you?
No, yeah, I said that, but it wasn't like that was the vibe that well, you know what? October the 11th.
Oh, yeah.
God Spares Life, October the 11th. And I'm going to have the Cayman Islands Veteran Association on. I think they're going to be here on Thursday. And I'm helping them promote their annual gala as well. Hint, hint. That was where you and I last threw it down, Oscar.
Oh, I know. And we're going to do it there too.
I mean, we just threw it down there. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that event to share with you. What is it?
We had the DJ complimenting us.
Yes, can you imagine? Leave it to us. But I'm happy every moment that we can get to just embrace life, to celebrate and live in the moment. And I'm quite sure with this diagnosis, Oscar, you value every second of the day. You don't sweat over the little stuff because the car wash guy didn't came late, or something happened. You don't sweat on the small stuff. You just give thanks for another day. And that's how we should all live.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Wow. The things you take for granted now. And, with you actually living in this moment, I'm quite sure you see people totally different. You see your mom different. You see your wife different. You value friendships. You value those moments where you could just light up a barbecue grill, do something to just spend valuable time with each other. And for those who may not be going through an illness of this nature and just so blessed to have health, be careful what you say to people. Stop being so mean and rude. And no one cares about your opinion, especially if it's so rude. Because you never know what somebody is actually carrying
at all.
Pardon me?
If you have nothing nice to say nothing at all.
Yeah. And again, we don't even know if the reason why they're acting out is because they're probably battling something themselves. But look at you. You have this diagnosis. You're still doing good. You're making a profound impact, not only on the Cayman community, but has now reached internationally. And you continue to just live life. Kudos to you. And I hope that, exposures and being on platforms such as this and getting your word out, that maybe we may actually change the needle and make people be a little less kind to one another and just look at life totally different.
Yeah. More kind, you mean, to one another?
More kind. Yeah. Yeah. More kind.
Still got it. Still got it. Might be gone, but I still got it.
I was just testing you, I was testing you. Final words, last minute thoughts that you would like to share. This is your moment.
I think I said it. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
My final word is, Oscar, I love you.
Oh, I love you too, my sweet.
Oh, that's so sweet, the two of you. Let me tell you something. It is always a pleasure hosting two of you, and I'm looking forward to great things. Please keep me posted with all of the flyers and upcoming events so that I can definitely share it here on this space. God bless, and it's always a pleasure to have you here on Sabrina Speaks.
Thank you.
Okay, there we go. Enjoy the evening.
Thanks.
And there we have it. It is amazing to just have oof. We got to be so thankful, with everything that God puts in our way. When you look at Oscar, no, I wouldn't even say put in our way. Look at his personality. Look at his mindset. Look at his demeanor. Look at his attitude. And for us, so many of us that are out there, all we do is spew venom. And here is a young man, pretty much in the prime of his life, have had the unfortunate situation of being diagnosed with a terminal diagnosis of cancer of the brain. Because it's being stage 4, and the lack thereof of proper legislation, and probably some more that I'm not a specialist or a professional to speak of in the insurance space, was pretty much said, because you're stage 4, you done. Every treatment now that Oscar has to get in order to maintain a certain quality of life, he's hoping that insurance will cover it. Why? Because he was diagnosed with stage 4. Of this conversation today, that actually hit me the hardest because, and don't get me wrong, I can understand from the operational side of the insurance, having been a business owner myself. But I don't understand the space because as a nurse, you're there to care. As a person working in that space, that's all we know is to care. And everybody deserves a fighting chance. Who are we? We're not God. But the mere fact that Oscar was diagnosed with stage 4, you have administrators looking at a bottom line and doing a risk factor and pretty much saying, we'll try 6 treatments, 5 treatments, whatever amount of treatments it is. And if you ain't making a turnaround, we ain't doing no more. What should you do? What do you do in a case like that? You've seen Oscar. You see him here twice. No one knows what tomorrow may bring, and that's why we live in the moment. But administratively, from the perspective of insurance, should the towel just be thrown in on him when he still has life? When he still has a chance, a fighting chance? Where do you draw the line? Who then picks up the differential to give him a fighting chance? And this is why NPOs and community participation, corporate participation is key. Many may say, well, what he gonna do that for? They got plenty of money. I having a real talk here. It only takes one test. I don't care how much money you have. Can lead you into medical bankruptcy. Which is why we're seeing so much persons coming too cynical for coverage. And as you've heard in a public space, that government is left holding the bag. Medical bankruptcy. One medication alone sometimes can be within $1 million. within $1 million. You have premature babies pretty much, bottom line out, a premature baby. Once you hear there's a premature birth, straight off the bat, you can start at $1 million. You can have up to possibly $2 million babies. Everybody deserves a chance. And when you look at the work that Melissa and all of those persons who are a part of that board are doing to just be the voice, to advocate, to be agitators into something that you don't even think about until you are unfortunately diagnosed. And this is why NGOs, NPOs like the Gray Area needs your support. And I encourage you to follow them, look at it from a bigger sphere of things and not they should have money. No, because you don't know when you or when the next person will be diagnosed. And like I said, and a caller alluded to, it's not that you don't even have the premiums, they just don't want to actually insure individuals. I had a Nikki Brown here trying to navigate or speak insurance. I feel it's warranted for us to have professionals who know that industry come back. And I am publicly inviting you because this is actually, it makes you want to get angry. You literally, it angers you. Because you shouldn't be where you're actually thrown out to the curb because you're diagnosed with stage 4 and you see it yourself for yourself. You see for yourself what we're seeing here. But as you actually navigate life and you engage, you go into the supermarket or you see certain postings on social media, think twice. Because you don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know if they're on their last physio treatment that they have to pay out of pocket, or they're on their last pill that they're not sure whether or not they're going to have the funds for that life-saving medication. Worse, if you've had a transplant or received an organ for those anti-rejection pills. These are all things that people are living with on a daily basis. And we don't know what the weight that somebody is carrying. We don't know the environment that they're living in. And to those partners like Melissa, to all the caregivers out there, again, there's a space through NGOs like this that makes your voice heard, that you can exhale. We see the great work that Jasmine is doing. And there's so much other NGOs out there that people, when they see them out there jingling, asking for donations or selling raffle tickets, they just scoff at them. Or whether or not I win anything, to be honest, I consider it a donation. But I'm hoping that the Gray Area and hearing Oscar's story, we're getting updates from him and we see exactly the real challenges that he's experiencing, that would actually cause us to pause as a jurisdiction and look more into the industry instead of just leaving you or having an industry where they drop you and say, let the government take care of you. Because wholeheartedly, I know in that position, holding that position, it was one of the hardest things to do when a family member reaches out to you and says, what am I going to do? My insurance no longer provides assistance for me. Can you help me navigate Cynical? Bearing in mind, as the former Minister of Health, I was not responsible for Cynical. But what do you do? What do you do? You just help. You help. But I'm hoping that groups like this will actually get the ears of our policymakers and they can invite stakeholders to the table so that persons who are going through this can go through this with dignity, and the access to quality care is easier, and you're not worried whether or not you're going to be scoffed at or rejected just because. And I want to thank his caregivers. I know that for a fact, Oscar, because you mentioned them, and your medical professionals who are a tower of strength for you. And I know that you gave them praises over there at Health City Cayman Islands, and for everyone who has been instrumental leading up to this point. But I just want persons to think of that. When you're spewing negative vibes out there, you never know when you can be on the other end, laying in a hospital bed, looking up and fighting for your very own life. Think about all of that, because everyone deserves access to quality healthcare, and no one should be placed in that position. Because as I rightfully say, some people will look at you and don't know what you're shouldering. They don't know your personal finances. They don't know what they just don't know your personal business, and they just assume. They just assume. But you see, when it comes to health, one test can bankrupt some people. They may have sufficient funds right now to be able to buy their groceries, to keep the lights on, to keep the water on, to do a top up on their phone. But one diagnosis, one MRI, one medication can lead them where they're in a position where they cannot even take care of themselves. And that's the real talk that we're having here. And as a country, we really need to look at the industry and making sure that we can explore all legislations that lack the teeth. And I'm telling you, it cannot be done in one term. But the mere fact that you have advocates like this who are out here, who are living it every day, the wheels are turning, we're getting the heirs, and I am going to be an advocate for change as well, because we can do it together. Anne, hi. Yes, it's good to have you, Anne, with us. Melita, that is it. If you can't say something nice, close your gap. Yep, some of these messages I'm going through later. So Melita, why? Yeah, Melita, I'm quite sure you're asking why the insurance is stopped. Is because, as Oscar alluded to in his interview, because he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and after, I think he said 4 or 5 treatments, that they didn't see much change. I stand to be corrected, that they pretty much write him off. And right now he's fighting because he's continuing to live a decent life. You can hear for yourself, you can see what's happening. And it's almost now his next treatment has gotten clearance, but he don't know what's going to become of the next chemo treatment. He's had radiation, a portion of the tumor from his brain has been removed, but he's still now trying to deal with chemo for other stuff. So Melita, pure wickedness, pay for it all your life, and that when you need it, then they're limited. Pure wickedness. And this is why I really feel I'm going to advocate for somebody to just come back on to try and explain this to us, Melita. Because, like I said, it was a lot of information that Miss Aniki Hill, who is versed in it, and anybody else, for God's sakes, who can just put a light on what this means, to shed it, to shed a light on it. I welcome them in this space. So I'm going to continue to be an advocate to fight for them. I'm going to continue to create this space so that we can showcase this. But there are lots of us going through a lot of issues out here in this community, and it's easier to be mean to people. It's easier for people to just assume. And I wonder sometimes why it's so easy to be mean, or why it's so easy for persons to say stuff without even considering the impact that it will have on people. And we're living in a society that we're so close-knit. God forbid somebody dies, there's outpouring support with praying hands and rest his soul, and you're hearing all of these stories when they die. And you have them with you, and they're so mean. And there are a lot of things that needs to be addressed here in our society, to be honest, that requires legislation, that will require a cool, calm, and collective head, that I feel if we got more togetherness in our community as Caymanians, that we would be much better off. Instead of tearing down one another, uplift each other. Instead of assuming, be informed, ask the right questions. And everybody's competing for whatever. Everybody has to live. Yes, I know. But there's nothing wrong with just being nice. And, it actually, my heart is full when I see people like Oscar and so many more persons. I see the work of the Alzheimer's and dementia program. I'm seeing the elderly who are just neglected sometimes. I see persons who are just trying to access healthcare for diabetes and blood pressure, or just need a dressing change and all that sort of stuff. And they're embarrassed to go to the hospital because they are feeling as though they're begging, because they may have fallen on some sort of hard times. And it's just a lack of information. And I will give you my promise that as long as I am in this space, you will be educated. I will make sure that I share the information with you on how you can access the resources. And I'm going to make sure that at the end of the day, that everyone has the opportunity to live with dignity in their own home. And especially when it comes to public health, the awareness and accessing healthcare, I'm going to make sure that this space actually do that we educate, we inform, we help you navigate the space, because at the end of the day, there is millions of dollars that is given in public health. You hear what I say? Public health, which is free. Pre-screening, preventative healthcare, knowing your numbers with your high blood pressure, your cholesterol. And I'm not going to stop until I dissect true meaning of the STEP survey. I'm not going to stop until I dissect that, so that you'll know exactly what public health surveillance means to the Cayman Islands and what you're entitled to when it comes to accessing that, knowing your numbers from a public health perspective. Because many a times, a lot of you are out there suffering in silence and you just don't know your rights. You just don't know your rights when it comes to accessing healthcare. Now, whether or not the facilities or expansion is needed as we continue to balloon in population, yeah, improvements can be done, but we got a lot of good people working in the health industry that are out there willing to help. They're out there willing to help. They have access to a lot of resources. And I am telling you, need to know your rights. And I'm going to give you my promise. I'm going to make you know those rights. Good evening, caller. Welcome back. You're live.
Good evening. It's me again.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have one request.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you continue the show like this time? So
No.
please.
I go into 7 though, you know. I go into 7. You see what's happened?
I see it.
No, that's by
I
popular. Yeah, man. No, that's by popular demand, caller, to be honest. We start at 7. The future of this space is that we're also going to be on radio. Okay. So I understand when I get started at 5. Yeah, no. Okay. We start at 5. But the future of the space is that we're also going to be on radio. And I understand that when I do get started at 5 o'clock, a lot of people are either trying to rush out of the office, God forbid, if something happens and you're in traffic going home. I don't want people watching this podcast live as they're in traffic, but that is why Sandra is trying to get it on radio as well. So people realize now that based on the topics that I'm bringing up, sound conversations and your engagement is key. We had to extend from 6:30 to 7. And now I'm noticing people are saying we need you longer. But I really feel that would not be necessary once we get on radio, because then you don't feel as though you're left out, which is why sometimes when I see the comments coming up on Facebook, I'm like, but I think I already covered that. But that's because, like yourself, people join us long after we have started. So that's why I have to keep memory of what I've said. But there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, caller. And thank you for your support. I did notice on another episode that I have speaking about menopause and couples, and I think was the other episode with Miss Joy Bazdeo about convenient marriage, which, by the way, I'm going to bring that back up. When we were...
You're not going to work with me with that one.
Oh, yeah, but what I'm... Yeah, it's amazing. Certain topics that I brought up when we were getting ready, especially with a gentleman that I had, oh God, he could kill me, I can't remember his name. But anyhow, we had a good conversation. I was very candid with my own personal experience for context. When we were getting ready to wrap up, I think we wrapped up that night about 6 times. That's when people were just engaging. And we almost did 3 hours. So I really feel the difference.
You get home and settling in, and then okay, we ready. You guys can a little bit, you know what I mean?
Well, I gotta be honest with you, unless we rejig it. Yeah, unless we rejig it to start, let's say 5:30. That all depends on the programming with Sandra, who is actually...
I mean, 5:30 is fine if, for the drive home, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, you're study till, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, for the regular women or men at home, settling in and getting there for the settle. Yeah.
But no, I have been getting that, and I'm working closely with Sandra to see how we can actually accommodate these requests, because I do see a lot more activity from about 6 o'clock, 6:15. And that's when you're either on the tail end of your conversation or you're almost wrapping up. And then people are just like, Sabrina, what are you talking about? Because I get the private messages, and all we can say is just scroll back. But I want to say, caller, that my aim was to elevate talk. What is it?
I think personally, to change the hour.
So start at 6.
I think 6. Yeah, I think so, because people who got home and at least not settling in, but at least settling in, they can they can turn on the phone or whatever, and they can start listening, and they can say okay, I caught up, I'm into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's funny enough you said that, right? When I was speaking before Oscar and Melissa left, I looked at a message on my phone that the live stream came up, and this show at that time, about 20 minutes ago, had already had 1,500 views, which means people are tuning in at different times, and we're still live, which is why I don't pay the live numbers any attention, so to speak, which it does make a difference because you're engaging right now. But I know by the time this show comes to an official end, I will have all 2,000-3,000 views. 8,000-10,000 views, and we're doing it on YouTube. We're doing it. So I can see, and many people come up to me now that they're recognizing and see me out. They're like, I just wish I wanted to comment live, but you were already done. And so
exactly.
They would have loved to participate in real time. Yeah.
At least start 1 hour later.
Yeah.
Because like you said, by the time they get off and they get home, even if they're home and they're settling in, they can turn on their phone or they can turn on the TV, whatever.
But the whole concept, when this came about on June 30th, it was supposed to be drive time radio that would be streaming as well.
I understand that.
But let's see. I don't know.
I understand that, but like you say, people, come driving home. Most people, paying attention to, violator. It's like, they have to pay attention about it right on the back of them, on the side of them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Correct.
They don't have no business. They don't have no business with the radio. They just want to get home safe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's true. But I thank you so much.
In these times.
Yeah, this is encouraging. It's motivating as well for me, because I do a lot of research and make sure that I have sound topics. But really, it does make a lot of difference when persons like yourself call or comment, and it really it allows me to measure the quality of what I'm delivering.
You've seen me call and I'm rushing up, I just wash my hair, done my hair on a Friday evening, wind down.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you start too early now. You've seen that, right? Like,
Yes,
okay,
yes, I
you
see.
know, we're just doing my hair.
Yep,
Yeah.
I see it.
Everything.
Anyhow, thank you
All right.
so much as
Think
usual.
about it.
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
welcome.
I
Think about
will.
it.
Take
Okay,
care.
baby. Okay, bye.
And there I go. Yeah. So, well, this is something that I'll talk with the executive about. And again, what's your take on it? Should I start at 6? Should you think we go 6 to 8? Definitely, we're not going to extend it to a 3-hour show. But I totally understand from the perspective, because I do notice it in the numbers. Yes, Miss Shelma, final call for today.
Okay, listen, how much hours ahead England is ahead of us, 5 or 6?
6.
Okay, well, Miss Lucille gonna be wet at the start 6 because
Yes, I saw something from her.
she is a regular caller because some
For
evening
true.
she told me I had a drink myself, she said, and I never catch Sabrina. So
Yeah.
I think how it's been is good. I think how it's been is good. They listen to the radio or they put their phone on the thing. They don't have to be watching it as they're driving.
There we go.
She is number 1 on you and number 1 on Sandra.
It's true.
And I'm gonna be number 2 on the 2.
It's true.
She's CNN. What I had Miss Newman. Miss Newman was CNN number 1. One was CNN number 2, and our number 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Rose and Miss Lucille, they're big supporters. Yeah.
But listen, one little more thing I want to say.
Go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, them insurance, Sabrina, because like I say, I know people, 2 people, a wife and a husband that had stage 4. When people hear stage 4 cancer, they think that you're on your last. But like I say, God in control, and God can do miracles. I know a wife and a husband that both of them were diagnosed stage 4, and now they've been cancer-free for 8 years. So this is what I'm telling you, them insurance took it. And if they don't want, like that girl say, you pay all of this time and nothing, that wasn't do you. And now that you can't, and like I say, they can't think because you're diagnosed with stage 4 that you're going to die. And if they don't want, and I guess the people are trying to take out no big, like say, life insurance, that if you're dead, they're going to have to pay a whole heap of money. At least be able to cover, like you said, because medical can be, and especially for them treatment, because I know, at least, and then he going to be paying.
Yeah.
So they still getting money from him and at least cover his medical expense. Give him a chance to survive.
Right.
But this is what I tell you, the crooked, because it's done the same thing with the house. Look at the money that we pay in from manufacturer, from Mr. Haig days. How long Mr. Haig been dead? And we've been paying that, and then after came on first take it, one little mistake, and they're going to make up all that money that we were paying them for house insurance. So this is what I tell you, they're crooks. As if anything happened now, God forbid to this, I don't have nothing insured, and I want my wear contents were insured. They pay me for the wearing big thing of toilet paper that I had that get what up, my hamper, everything, the contents in the house, and we get, but I tell you, they are crooks. And then, like I say, I agree. I don't agree with that because the man was paying all along, and like I said, not because he got stage 4 that he can't make it, because God is in control and he can make it and live. So when God ready for him, at least do it. And then that's the thing. They say about money. Money can't save you, but yes, money can save you sometime if you have it. Because I know plenty of people that were sick and same thing, and you know, they got to have insurance because I've been seeing you going to facilities and you down there, and first thing they over you with clipboard and all this, want to find out what type of insurance you got and who going to be paying. So they don't want to tend to you for nothing. If you can't pay. So this is why it's good. And that's why I tell people, I say, I wouldn't like to be rich like some of the people that got it, because I understand what Mr. Linton had told me. And some people are greedy. The more they get, the more they want. Because we had asked him one time what feels to be rich. And he said, it's like eating Cracker Jack. The more you eat, the more you want. But I said, at least I would like to be in a position that if I need something, I could meet my needs.
Right.
You understand? And yes, money can save you sometimes, because I see a lot of people die because they could be cured or whatever with what they got, but because they're not having no money to pay insurance and stuff, they can't get the treatment. So yes, it's good to have it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Leave us there.
And do have it.
Leave us there this evening, Michelle. Mom. Thank you so much. God bless.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
He said, for that he gonna die, and he not gonna die. I tell you, God gonna bless him. He covered. He gonna make it.
Yep, we can just keep positive energy out there in this in the world. Yep, we wish him all the best. Thank you so much.
And he keep praying. I tell you, God, he can come right out of that in a flash.
Thank you. Oh, gotta love Michelle. Well, you know, this brings us to the end of Sabrina Speaks. And I thought it was only fitting to do this. Miss Geely is such a sweet lady, his mom. But I want to leave you with this evening. Advocacy begins with awareness, but it doesn't end there. And, you know, I want to, again, this show was dedicated to Oscar and Melissa. And they didn't just share their story, not once, but twice here. They built a platform so that others can be seen, supported, and definitely strengthened. And their NPO, the Gray Area, you will hear more about this, is more than just a name. It is a space where uncertainty meets courage, where diagnosis meets dignity, and where silence is replaced by solidarity. And if you're moved by everything that you've heard here this evening, don't let it stop at empathy. I'll encourage you to visit the Gray Area social pages, contact them, or attend any of their upcoming events, which we will share right here. Maybe you want to be a volunteer, you want to donate, you heard about Saturday evening's event and you missed it, but you know, they're still available. Or simply just share this episode with someone who needs to hear it, who could be inspired, who may be going through some challenges of their own. And, you know, because we have proven here in the Cayman Islands that we don't just talk. And I'm hoping that, and I'm praying that someone from the industry will actually hear this cry that we really need to look at insurance and still make our people live the rest of their lives with dignity. And when we do, because of us having that spirit, we remind each other that no one has to walk alone. And I'm hoping that everything that Oscar is going through here, that it will change your perspective on how you look at people and just look at life totally different. Because at the end of the day, as callers say, only that man above knows. But I want to leave you and say special thanks to International Lighting. I want to say special thanks to them for helping us definitely light the way. And not literally, but figuratively as well. So for 39 years, Edward, has been in operation, and he's actually having his 39th anniversary. And their commitment to quality and community is a reflection of what we strive for here on the show, and definitely for what he brings to our island. So don't miss out on their anniversary specials going on this week at Ed's Plaza. Give them a call, 949-8211, 949-5141. For all of your needs. It has been a pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for caring as well. And thank you for being a part of our community. Until tomorrow, which I'll be putting the spotlight. Guess what? A lot of you have heard about the HPV vaccine. We spoke about it here when we were talking about STDs, STIs. I'm going to be doing that show tomorrow, and we're going to be having the very candid conversation, how it impacts males and females. And then I want you to participate. Now, if you think it's taboo, no more. No more. We're going to have the real conversations here. We're going to be candid. We're going to be real. So I encourage you to join me tomorrow evening for another informative episode of Sabrina Speaks, where we put the spotlight on HPV, tell you what that is, and we're going to break it down. We're going to break it down. I got stats and fill you in between with everything else. But I want you to remember, stay informed, stay inspired, and above all, stay connected. God bless. Love you. Until tomorrow.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, K-Man, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina.